BitAds. So last week, someone asked more of my thoughts on BitAds, which is one of the subnets on Bittensor, and I was aware of it, didn't really do much looking into it. And then I was chatting with David Marino. I'm not sure if he's here today. I call him Colombian David, but basically he does, as he mentioned last week, he spends like 50 grand a month, I think, on ad spend or whatnot. So he knows his stuff. Anyway, I've been going down the rabbit hole of BitAds and first ads. They're the same thing, really. And holy shit. The first thing which I should highly recommend is looking at the Bittensor Guru interviews. So I cannot stress how informative Keith Singery is to the community. So this is Bittensor Guru, Keith Singery. So go to his profile, and at the moment I think he is a single source of the best sort of, oh wow, 1986. He's the same age as me. His interviews are really, really good. At the moment, he's pretty much my single source of Bittensor knowledge at the moment, because what he's doing is he's going and interviewing, the subnet owners themselves. This one was interesting. It's all about protein folding using Bittensor. And if you scroll down here, you need to look for the one where it talks about BitAds. Which First Tensor is leading the way with. Anyway, the long story short with this is that when you look at how the basics of Bittensor, this is effectively what happens. Let me just draw this out for you. So obviously every subnet's going to be different, but what happens is you have, let's make it thinner. So you have a user that comes along, depending on what the subnet or the product is, and they have a request, whether it be a text to image, text to text, whatever. It then goes to a validator, and the validator goes cool, and then what happens is the validator pumps it out to the miners within that subnet. Now typically you have 200 miners, sorry, is that the 100? Yeah, roughly 200 miners per subnet. I have to double check that. Anyway, that request goes out to the miners, and then the miners obviously have, let's call it output. It then goes back to the validator, and that output goes through an algorithm that the validator is running, and then the validator chooses the best output, right? Now, the miner who wins, or miners who wins the best outputs, gets higher ranking, higher weighting within that validator, yada, yada, yada. So you have this super competitive sort of ecosystem here of miners. First of all, trying not to get deregistered, because if you're a bad performing miner, you're going to get booted off. And obviously, the better you do, the more emissions you get. Right? Because the validators are there with the power. They choose where the emissions go. So the better a miner you are, the more money you make, or the more tau you make, right? So this is that competitive landscape. Now, obviously, I'm not going into all the bugs, and every subnet is slightly different. Now, the reason why I think BitAds can single-handedly completely destroy direct response marketing, or not destroy, completely revolutionize direct response ads, is because at the moment direct response ads are utter bullshit, really, to the point where I'll come back to that previous one. I hate using the word funnel, but it's all about marketing, attraction, and funnel. But in the old days, it's literally, you have eyeballs. So actually, let's simplify it. You put a whole bunch of money at the top of the funnel to hopefully get eyeballs onto your landing page, etc. And then eventually they turn into a lead. Then they turn into, a sale. And it's not just one sale. Most of the time you have sale, this could be, first point, then a bigger sale, etc. Right? So at every stage, you have a conversion rate. So you'll have, the lead could be some sort of opt-in for, some sort of lead magnet, whatever. Now, every one of these stages has a conversion rate. So the easy way to work out, I'm just going to simplify this. Let's just say there's one sale, okay? Yes, there may be upsells and downsells and all that sort of stuff. But let's say, it all goes through to here. And the way that I used to work this out is, you never base it on one sale, okay? So you need to have law of numbers working on your side. So you try and work things out. So let's just say from lead to sale is 10%, and then from eyeball to lead is 5%, and money, it could be cost per click over here. So money to an eyeball, just put another 5% here. So if you got, if you want 10 sales over here, that means you need 100 leads. You then need 500 eyeballs, and then obviously it depends on how much it costs. And so you're having to not spam, but throw shitloads of money at the wall to get these metrics. And then really all that matters is cost per lead and cost per acquisition. So how much is it costing you to get an eyeball? And how much is it costing you to get an acquisition? As in, how much is it going to cost you to buy a customer? So in this case, let's just say your cost per click was, I don't know, £1, right? So, let's call it £10. And it costs, and you need 500 clicks, basically, 500 eyeballs. Well, you're spending $5,000 up here, and obviously you don't know how much it's going to cost, what is your sale? Now, if a sale is, £10 and you're only getting 10 customers down here, guess what? You've just spent £5,000 to get 100 quid. If the sale is 100 quid, all of a sudden, still shit, you're still bleeding money. And if, so it's all about conversion rate optimization when it comes to marketing. So, can you tweak some of these conversion rates to make things, profitable? Or is your business even worth doing marketing for? If your product is £1,000 and you're getting 10 customers down here and you're making 10 grand down here, yes, of course, it makes great sense. If it's costing you 5 grand to get 10 grand, you do that all day long. And that's how I made a lot of my wealth, 10 years ago, 7 years ago with ads. Facebook used to be, I was a trader, but Facebook used to be my best asset stream because I'd be pumping in, 30 grand, 100 grand would pop out. I'm like, okay, let's put that all back at the top again. Now, what's happened is that marketing has got very expensive. Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Google, they've all been fighting about, privacy with, cookies and whatnot. So long story short, in a nutshell, obviously it's industry dependent, but ad costs have gone up 5x. At least. And I've seen some industries where it's gone up 10x in terms of cost per click, cost per, CTR, cost per click, everything. Click-through rate, it's nuts. Especially if you have a B2C type business. And so many businesses have gone under because of this massive spike in ad costs over the last couple of years. And I've seen this with myself. With some of my other businesses, my B2C businesses basically just went bust really due to ad spend going up. So there's a massive issue here that there are companies all over the world that are very happy to spend money on marketing, but they're just, they're not getting returns. And put it this way, RT, the realistic trader, has done all sorts of different, tests with marketing to the point where, over the last 4 years, we haven't actually really done any marketing, like pretty much no marketing. And I have, outsourced marketing to 5 different, Billy Big Balls marketing, etc. And it just doesn't work really. Not if you want to maintain your integrity, because sometimes, in fact, I'm going off on one. Long story short, BitAds is solving this problem. Because what is the actual problem? It's not just getting eyeballs, it's not getting people to click on a link or whatever. It's can you get very good eyeballs, high quality eyeballs to look at something, product, or, let's call it a product, to then, to turn into a sale. Now, there's two sides of this. A quality eyeball looking at the right page at the right time is a good thing, right? So if you are someone that really let's say you're a user or a potential customer and you really need something, right? And all of a sudden the perfect product is presented to you at exactly the right time. Marketing is not scammy like that, okay? That is just like, it's almost serendipitous. This is what Elon Musk really wants Twitter ads to eventually turn into. It's a pile of poo at the moment, Twitter, but if you can serve the perfect product at the perfect time to the right eyeball or user, then that is proper advertising or marketing. The user's very happy, the client, the business is very happy. Now, obviously that's the holy grail of marketing, right? And we will get there eventually. But where BitAds is coming in is that at the moment, the ultimate goal of BitAds is to only charge the advertiser on eyeballs that actually buy. Now that's huge, right? This is basically like Google coming out and saying, hey, I know you're spending loads of money with us on Google Ads, but from now on, we are literally only going to charge you when someone buys from you. Now, that's a very outlandish statement. And I know a lot of that statement will probably go over a lot of heads here. If you've never done adverts before or whatever, it's going to be a lot harder to explain. But if you're a business owner, right? And I used to do this all the time, just for shits and giggles. But let's say you're a business owner. You are constantly bombarded by marketers going, hey, can I do this for you? Can I do that? I get 10 emails a day from marketers going, hey, I'd like to promote your shit. Well, from a business owner point of view, I'll be like, yeah, I will happily let you do marketing for me as long as we just pay it on a success fee, right? So my product, let's say you have a product is £100, and hey, marketer, if you sell a product for me, which is £100, I'll happily give you, 20 quid of that, right? Any business owner with a brain cell is going to be like, yeah, fine. You go sell my shit, I'll give you 20%. Happy as Larry. But no marketers do that, or very few marketers do success-based marketing, because the marketer has to come and, stump up their own capital, or even if the business owner had to do their own ad spend. Let's just say, okay, I'll spend $5,000 on ad spend, and yeah, I'll happily give you 20% of sales, but if you make me no sales, I want that $5,000 back. Like, very few or no marketers that I've ever found will ever do that, because all the risk all of a sudden goes on to the marketer, right? Well, BitAds will, if they can manage to succeed, will completely change everything, because what they're going to say, their ultimate output is, hey, we will only charge you if your advert results in a sale. Now that is mega, and the way that they can actually have a chance in doing that is because of the way that Bittensor works. You have a whole bunch of piranha miners all gagging and frothing at the chomp to take in this request from the validator and give out the best freaking output. Well, if all of a sudden you have a miner out here which is absolutely amazing in getting really high quality eyeballs, and always giving the best eyeballs, to the user, this miner is going to get paid handsomely from the Bittensor emission schedule, or from the validator, etc. Now, this miner may have a magic book up its sleeve, like they may have a super secret list that they've acquired, or they're approaching it in some way. But this is where the competitive landscape comes in. The miners will have to get in imaginative and creative to be the best miner on that. So this is huge, folks, because if BitAds, not necessarily sale on result, but if they can start getting eyeballs for relatively cheap, this is going to be a huge gravity well, basically. It is going to suck in huge amounts of fiat currency into the Bittensor ecosystem, right? So just put it this way: if you have shitloads of marketers or businesses that go, okay, I'll do. Let's take me for example, right? I'm a nobody from Norwich, but if BitAds works, I would happily spend, 100 grand a month. I'd happily spend 100 grand a month on ads, on ads, or more even, if the ROI was worth it and, all the metrics was worth it. And I'm a nobody. So imagine all the big businesses out, all the David Marinos out there spending 50 grand a month or more. Like, this will suck in billions per month. I'm not exaggerating. This is under-egging it. So imagine billions, a big B, billions per month of ad spend coming into BitAds, right? And it requires Tau to use BitAds. Now, obviously, a mainstream business that wants to use this, they won't be like dicking around finding Tau. There will be a converter. They'll be like, hey, okay, you can spend your 10 grand a month or whatever on ads. There'll be a converter behind the scenes that converts fiat into Tau. This is massive upside pressure, folks. Hell, if Bittensor had just one product and it was BitAds, I would freaking have this in my portfolio. If a random company came out and said, hey, we have a mechanism that can basically filter, fake clicks, fake eyeballs, that is a massive, regardless of bull market, bear market, this is an industry that is going to be absolutely mega. So yeah, this is huge. And then this is just one subnet, folks. One subnet. Let alone the protein folding, the 64 subnets that we'll have within 2 months. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, have a look into BitAds, and the way to do that is try and find that Keith Singery thing. Just scroll down here. It'll be here. It will be here. It's the first Tensor one. I can't even. Yeah, I won't waste your time. Just scroll down his profile. It's there. I think I probably. Oh, here we go. For May the 5th. This one.